Is this working now? Is this working now? Okay, mic's working. Here we go. Monster hunting. Alright. I've got the chat up and ready to go if necessary. Alright, I haven't played Monster Hunter for a while, so we'll get into it. I'll be doing Mega Man about 1 o'clock today for folks who are interested in that. Until then, I'm just going to fight some other stuff to get back in the habit of things. Radbadan is one of my favorite monsters that they introduced here. I've been playing Monster Hunter, the prequels to this version, and many others, I suppose, for years now. I first started playing this with my my best friend Adam. He is my longest friend. I've known him longer than anyone in my life outside of family. We've known each other since we were in first grade. So we still are friends, we still hang out. Obviously not right now, but we do Dungeons and Dragons, and we are like total board game freaks with each other. So, so we started playing this probably about 2009 or so, 9 or 10. I used to work with him. We used to work at GameStop together. He was my boss. And that was about 2009 or 2010. And we would play on PSP, PlayStation Portable. Remember those old things? And yeah, and we just used to have a real good time. Just hanging out and playing. So, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, I'll do Mega Man probably around 1 o'clock today. But for right now, I'm just going to fight this monster here, the Radbadan. Radbadan was a new one that they introduced for Monster Hunter World. He's based on some monsters that already existed, though. Most closely related to him is Uragaan, which is essentially the same thing, only instead of being covered in bones, Uragaan is covered in like rocky cragginess. Hold on just a second, I gotta turn down my mic or my headphones a little bit, they're really loud. Okay. So I just wasted a bunch of time. I could have been pounding on him. In this game, if you've never played before, never seen it before, there are just a tons of different weapons, and essentially you're fighting giant dinosaurs. Some of them are, you know, pretty realistic and don't have like weird supernatural powers. Others of them do. Like this is a monster that's body sort of exudes tar, and in its natural habitat it rolls around in like a kind of like an elephant graveyard kind of situation, so there's just like bones everywhere. So that's where all of these bones come from. They're not actually part of its body, they're from, you know, whatever else they're dropping into. You'll see as I fight him it'll say parts broken on the side as I sort of continually knock off parts of him. Oh. And I'm using the hammer, which does KO damage, so after a while it'll knock things out. What, honey? Oh, girlies, pancakes are ready. My wife made pancakes for the girls. She is working from home during this time. Yes, Pixley, you can say something on the live stream. Nobody is watching right now. I'll just warn you.
Hi.
Alright, so now when a monster is asleep, they take triple damage when you wake them up. So the first hit you land on them, you want to be a good one. I think I'm gonna screw this up right now, but no, I did it perfectly. Wow, I'm proud of myself on that one. I don't often nail it. See, there we go. Busted his chops open. This isn't a particularly difficult fight. Hopefully I don't get KO'd after saying that, but yeah. Not a particularly tricky fight to go against, but it exists as a way to spend some time. So the reason you're fighting all these monsters, I guess, is because they wreak havoc on the environment, I guess. They do usually have some kind of a storyline about, you know, elder dragons doing blah 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 and this and that, but it's more a framing for just like a very video gamey experience of go fight these monsters and do these things. So yeah. Now he's gonna blow out of his belly. That's like some sleep juice, and as long as I stay away from it, it doesn't affect me. Because the same thing happens for the players. If you get put to sleep, the next hit that you take does 3 times as much damage, so you don't want that. You can carve off monsters' tails, but not obviously with a hammer. You can't cut a tail off with a hammer. Okay, I need to heal up or I'm going to be dead in a second here. And this version of the game, Monster Hunter World, was the first time they let you drink potions and take, like, healing stuff while you move. Prior to now, every time you would stop to drink, you would have to hold completely still while an animation played of you drinking whatever it was. Ooh, I got another KO. Drinking whatever it was, and then you, like, did this ridiculous flex at the end, too. It was wild, and it made people crazy, but it was one of the things where this game got a reputation for being ridiculously like hardcore, and you know the people who played it were like real bougie about it, including myself. Like, if you're not good at it, you just need practice. You need to get good. So what happens in the game is you fight a bunch of different monsters, and after you defeat a monster, you get to carve it up for parts. So for instance, after I defeat this, I'll probably be able to get like Rodbadon bone fragments, Rodbadon scales, Rodbadon oil, whatever, since he's, you know, oily. And then you take those to a blacksmith, and the blacksmith can make you equipment out of them. And it's cool because the equipment ends up looking like whatever the monster is. Like, I'll show you what the Rodbadon armor looks like after a minute. Yes, Paige, you can say something on the stream. Bad timing. What do you want to say, Paige? Okay. I think maybe they heard it. I want to get these rocks to fall on him. Did I get it? I don't think so. Maybe I'll clip the tail. No. That one's hard to land. This game is played with up to 4 people, but when you have more people, the monsters get harder to defeat. They don't hit harder, but they take a lot more times to hit to knock them out. So I usually, depending on the fight, will go solo. Because if you have less than 4, then it's like really out of balance. I think what happens is the ratio they use is like they have 3 times as much health or something like that. So having 4 people is great. Having 3 people is okay. But if you only get like a second person to go with you, then they're needing more damage than you can really put out, which, you know, is math. So maybe that's why a teacher has it on their stream. Yay. And hit. I'm doing okay. You know, I gotta say, when they drool like that, that means they've taken a pretty decent amount of damage. Or actually it means that they've used a bunch of their moves and now they're getting tired. So it makes it easier to... I forget what it makes it easier to do. In the... I guess really it just makes it so they hold still a lot more. That was a good dodge there. I think I might have a special ability that makes me resist tremors, which is what that's considered. So I just recently switched back to using hammers. I'd been using lances for quite a while. And I've been having a lot of fun going back to hammer. That was my main weapon for quite a while. I switched. Okay. Here we go. Dodge. So you have what's called iframes or invincibility frames whenever you dodge, and if you dodge at like the exact right moment, you will take no damage and just like go through something. But there are ways to increase the number of iframes that you get, but I don't think I have a build that does that. Alright, I'm gonna try to spear him with the Dragonator. Nope, I'm only gonna get one. Oh, I almost entirely missed. I got lucky just getting one. Okay. Alright. Take a little potion. See, like, ordinarily in the old games you would have to just hold still while you did that. And it takes a long time, and actually I have some things that make it so I drink faster. And so if I didn't have those, even that would have taken a lot longer. Busting his chops here. Epic music, of course. How could you not have super epic music? Nope. Stepping over. The new mechanic that they added into this one is something called claw shot or something? So you can kind of grapple onto a monster. Oh, nope, I'm getting sleepy. Hopefully my cat will save me. Nope, not gonna save me. I'm sleepy. So hopefully he won't do a move that damages me too much. Yeah, okay, that was a simple move, so it didn't hurt too much. I'm gonna use my health fart. You can plop this down, and it'll spray out a mist that heals you, so I'm gonna get on that. Oh, also as you attack, the sharpness of your weapon decreases. So you have to stop and sharpen it every once in a while. That's another thing the older games used to do, is you would have a limited number of those, and the new game was like, you know what, they're super cheap in their original game, why don't we just let them have them always for free? Now you'll see that the damage numbers that come up while I'm doing this are in white. That's because I am not hitting him in a part that where he's weak to my attacks. So in his head, he's extra weak to my attacks. In his tail, he is not. Oh, this is where you're supposed to like claw shot, and then boom. Oh, and then I just KO'd him again. See, the nice thing about playing solo is you can KO them a lot. I feel like when I've played multiplayer... Oh, and my cat just put him to sleep. I'm gonna actually use some bombs this time. This is about to be the bomb. Okay, let's see if I can do another good swing. Nope. No, not a good swing. And I missed the bombs. There we go. Blow them up that way. What just happened? Did my kitty cat knock him over? Oh, my kitty cat's named Marshall, which is sweet because Marshall was my kitty that passed away a few months ago. pretty sad. He's a kind of an old boy. He was like 16, but still unexpected and sad. Okay. I bet whistling sounds terrible over a stream. But tossed around here a little bit. Trying to think if there's any other introductory Monster Hunter things I should talk about. Probably not. I'm gonna pick up some rocks if there are any in the arena here. Ordinarily you fight in these like lush, beautiful settings, by which I mean like forests and deserts and things like that. But when you've captured monsters before you fight, you can choose to fight them in the arena, which is just nice because then you're not chasing them all over a map trying to figure out where they are. Because sometimes it'll take you a long time even just to find where the thing is you're supposed to fight, because it's just like living its life in the desert or whatever. I am specifically looking for something to throw at him. I don't know why I'm not seeing any rocks or anything on the ground. Pretty sure there's supposed to... Okay, here we go. There's a pile of stones. The reason why I'm doing this is because there's a thing you can do to make it so he like jumps or like runs into a wall and hurts himself, and I would love to do that. Oh, it just straight up knocked him over. I'll take that too. Broke another part off of him. The thing with the Rabadon is you end up with like a bunch of different parts to break off of him because of all the bones that are on him. When you fight him in his natural habitat, he's able to... When you fight him in his natural habitat... Oh, there he goes. Oh, he wasn't close enough to a wall for that to do anything cool. When you fight him in his natural habitat, he rolls around in the, you know, the bones of the elephant graveyard or whatever, and gets a lot of his stuff back. Of the, sort of his bone armor, you could say. I've played a lot with, when the monsters roar, you kind of get stuck in place. And I've played a lot more recently with a skill called earplugs on. So I'm not used to being frozen by him screaming at me. I was gonna say, altogether I have probably played over 1,000 hours across all of the different Monster Hunter games of Monster Hunter. The reason being, like, it's all broken down into these fights, right? And one fight with this guy is probably going to be like 20 minutes right there, and a lot of times a fight, you know, when you're going through and fighting new things, this is sort of like an enemy that I would have fought a while ago in the game, so I'm like pretty strong against it. A lot of times you'll spend 20 minutes to 40 minutes fighting something and can just lose. So when you think about, you know, what that means time-wise, it's a long time. There we go, there's another good smash to the face. Ooh, I wanna, now I think I can do the thing with oh, no, he's not interested in doing that. I thought that was the whole... Okay, anyway. The Clutch Claw or Clutch Grip or whatever they call it is new to the expansion that they just came out with a few months ago, so I still don't exactly know how to use it right, because I'm old school when I was a boy of 28 or whatever when I first started playing this. We didn't have things like a clutch claw, so there is a lot of that, like old school Monster Hunter fans being like, when I was a boy, you had to hold still for 6 seconds to take a potion and live. I think that's kind of been few and far between though, because people who love Monster Hunter and have for a long time have always just thought it's like the greatest thing. So now that there's so many more people playing this is now the best-selling Capcom game of all time. Now that there's more people playing, I think we're more like, well, why don't we just go ahead and be inclusive? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, so. My hope is that one day they will do crossplay for this. My friend Adam, who I talked about before, loves Monster Hunter, obviously, but he has it on PS4. And I actually bought a PS4 for him when this first came out to play on PS4, but then it came out on PC and it like runs 100 million times better and load times are almost non-existent. It's just like, you gotta do it. Okay, we got him down again. I'm gonna try land some really good hits on the head here. Boom! 286, great. Yelling. Started getting beat up by me. I got trimmer protection, so that didn't do nothing. Come back down here on the arena floor. You can also set traps for them. I don't think he's ready, but I'm going to go ahead and do a trap just so you can see how they'll get frozen in place and you can just wail on them for a while, or I'm going to see if I can capture him again. Might not be... Oh, nope, he was close enough to death to be able to capture, so there we go. Got him! Dead memes for the win! Wonder how well this stream is going. Oh, okay. Looks like it's streaming nicely. Only got like a 5-second delay. Oh, I'm still streaming. Sorry, I got distracted on my laptop here looking at other stuff. Wow, how boring of me to do that. Okay, so these are all the different parts that I got from slaying, or from capturing the monster. You actually get bonus for capturing. Like 1, 4, 5. I got 5 bonus things just because I captured it instead of killing it. When you kill them, you only get to carve 3 different things off of it, so. Okay, so you can see I've got like oil shell, shard, bone mass, blah blah blah. Torpor sac, if you don't know what torpor is, it's like sleep, deep sleep sac. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take all that, put it in the bank. Appraise the gem. Gems are cool. You put them into... Ooh, earplugs too. That's good. Oh, I already have 5 of them though, so... Yeah. Get some money. Cash Money Millionaire. I need to get up to Hunter rank 100 for the original... before the expansion came out. Sort of endgame monster hunt thing. I'm sure that's all
This
very exciting to hear
unidentified elder
about.
dragon is in the Coral Highlands. Let's head out, but proceed with caution.
What am I doing here? Alright, now I'm gonna join a quest, with other people. And I should probably mute them hearing me live streaming, so give me just a second. I don't know if it's gonna do this. Voice chat off. Okay. I should chat with people, but I feel like when you're... this is gonna sound bougie too, but once you get to like the higher end fights, if people have made it there, they know what they're doing. So there's not a lot of coordination and things like that that you need to do. The only thing is, you know, when somebody's like about to put it to sleep or about to throw down, you know, traps or whatever, there's some communication that can go into, hey, don't attack it right away, we're gonna put up some bombs or, you know, whatever like that. I am gonna search for an event. Let's see what kind of events are going on right now. No event. Okay, great. So never mind. I'm gonna post one and then throw up a flare that says, hey, if anybody wants to help me with this, help me with this. Oh wow, there are like no there are like no event quests right now. Okay. These are ones I can't even do yet because I'm not high enough level. MR 70 for these. Holy cow. Well, because of that... oh, these do give bonus stuff, so I should just do these. Let's see. I think I'll do this one. These are the least annoying enemies that they have in stock here. Because they have these things, they're called Piscine Wyverns, and they are so annoying. Actually, I'll do this one since it's an arena. It's just doing another Rodbadon with a... I think that's a Geryotodus. Yeah, that's a weird word, isn't it? Okay. Make sure I've got all my items. It's funny, my wife is upstairs. She works for American Family, and she's been on like 18 million conference calls because they're not going into the office anymore for the foreseeable future. But that means that, you know, I'm down here talking to myself about monsters because there's nobody in the stream. I mean, I have to be honest and say there's nobody in the stream, so what's the point? But oh, I forgot to eat. I'll eat when I get there. When you eat, you get like special bonuses before you start to actually fight, which is kind of cool. Okay. Eat up. Okay, let's go in and bust him. Okay, so now's when I'm going to launch an SOS flare. I heard somebody, and I think it was an adult, describing what SOS stood for. I think it was a teacher. And maybe I overheard wrong. Like, I had to have overheard wrong. They, like, said the wrong thing. They said, like, send on supplies or something. And it's like, no, save our ship. Save our ship. Which, obviously, it's not a ship here. There's a figurative meaning to it now, instead of the literal, like, hey, my ship needs help, but it originated from, you know, save our ship. Oh, okay, so this is a Rodbadon and a Viper Toby Kadachi. I think he's poisonous, which stinks. Alright, you can see on the side it says join request settings. Oh, I didn't even climb on the monster like this before. You can mount the monsters and then after attacking them a certain number of times, they'll like fall over and you can pound on them that way. But it's hard when there's two things in here. I already got one KO off on the Rodbadon, but again, I like gotta try to fight this thing while somebody else is trying to hit me too. So this is where voice chat would be helpful to be like, hey, let's do the you know, let's do the Rodbadon first or whatever. So that's what happens when you die. You get 3 chances to get a reset. Poison just really messes you up. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, just restocking. I'm gonna go ahead and put on, there's a cloak that you can wear that that will essentially make it so you don't take damage for a while, like kind of like a shield. I'll put that on first. Ooh, we can see here we have the one person who's joined us uses what's called the Insect Glaive, which is like a cool, like double-ended spear thing that actually like lets you command a bug who like does your bidding and like runs around and attacks the monster and stuff, and gets they call it extracts from the monster that power you up. I played when that first got added to the game in Monster Hunter 4, I think. I played with that a lot. There's another person in here with the Lance. Lances actually are really great against Rodbadons, because the Rodbadon is kind of a slower monster, so Lances are the best defensively. You get this giant stinking shield that you can use, and yeah, so that is exciting for him. And you can run around. It's easy to mount the monster. I didn't realize this for a long time, but there's a way to just like run and jump on a thing. That's pretty cool. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Get these rocks to fall on him. Broke your back, son! Broke your back! It would be great if we got a 4th. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Oh, yep. It's funny, I just said that, and as I said that, a 4th person came in. I know I'm trying to fight the Radbadon first, but sometimes you're just there and there's somebody's head and you just want to smack it. Okay. You can see the Insect Glaive user is on the back of the Rodbadon doing the same thing I was doing before. I gotta bust his chin open because I am not doing enough damage to the front of him. Oh, somebody else did, I think. Yep. Bust that chin wide open. Wind up and boom. Slamma-jamma. The Tobi-Kadachi, the Viper Tobi-Kadachi, his poison is really super strong. So I'm trying to use an herbal remedy each time to be able to take care of that. Ooh, our new person uses bow guns. That's dope. There is a weird thing with all the different weapons that you have. There is a bit of like trying to find a good team synergy. It doesn't matter a huge amount for kind of normal monsters, but if you're trying to take on something really, really tough, it's good to have a variety. Like, for instance, if you're using a weapon that is bladed, you should really kind of be attacking the tail at first, because most monsters can lose their tail, and then you get extra bonus stuff for cutting off the tail. Hammers and there's something called the hunting horn should focus on the head because they can knock the monster out, and that's more free time to just wail on a monster. Dragon Eater cannot be used, so I'm going to do that. Put down my stinky healing farts. I'm using an old Wii U controller instead of like a PS4 or whatever, which stinks because whenever you see me like wind up with the thing and then I start running around with it, it's a charge that you're doing, and there's a special moment where you charge that does a specific move, that like uppercut move, and it's really hard to see visually, and using this controller, the vibration at that moment isn't super strong, so I end up missing that sort of sensory cue, if that makes sense. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Rocking it. Oh, but somebody fainted. If one more person faints, we're out of it. Oh, but I just knocked him out, which is nice. That'll get us some free hits. There we go. Landed that uppercut. Go. Pound it. Pound it. Oh, we got him! Ooh, I landed the last blow. Haha, 'cause I'm the best. Alright. I'm gonna get rid of the poison I just got. I'm gonna sharpen up my weapon here. Do a couple. It is ridiculous that you sharpen a hammer. I understand it is stupid. You're not the first person to think that. It is what it is. Where's everybody else? Why are there only 2 of us here right now? I need to get back in there, but I want to heal up a little bit first. Okay. Tobi Kadachi, unlike the Radbadan, is a very fast monster. And he's also kind of small, which makes it harder for me to hit, because the hammer is a pretty slow weapon overall. So it is a little bit tougher to get in there and do some real good damage to him. But I'm going to try anyway, because that's what friends are for. There we go. I was just gonna do that. It's so funny that that guy did that. So yeah, so right now, oh, I might have just accidentally tossed somebody into the air like a jerk. Let's see if I can get a KO on him or not. Oh, nope. He roared right in the middle of me winding up to do the like super hard hit of that attack. That is a bummer. Piercing bud. Another new addition is everybody gets what's called a slinger. And the slinger lets you pick up stones and other stuff from the ground and then throw them at the enemy. So that's cool. Even though dude just did this, I'm gonna try to do it again. Should be able to get a KO on this guy at some point. There we go. There's a nice KO for us. Now I kind of feel like if they're knocked out, which is, you know, what I'm assuming KO is supposed to mean, I would think that that would mean that they, you know, fell asleep or were actually knocked out. But right now you can see us all like ravenous, weird, gross monsters ourselves, just carving up this dude. So I got a thorn, another thorn, and a shard. You can also do cool stuff like, now that we've finished it, there's all kinds of little gestures and stuff. This is my favorite. Kabuki. Da, 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 da. Oh, this dude's gonna shoot me, I bet. There is no team damage, you can't hurt your partners or whatever, but you can affect them. Like, so if he shot me right now, I wouldn't take damage, but I would get knocked out of whatever I was doing. And you can do that to each other while you're fighting too. You can knock people out of their animations, which is why one of the most popular weapons is called a longsword. It's just like this giant katana, but it slaps people around the whole fight and makes them crazy. Yeah, you can see here I still got stuff for breaking the head, the back, the hind leg, etc. But none of those capture bonuses showed up because we didn't capture them. We just straight up marked them. I think I'll do one more fight and then I need to do some exercise because all I've done since we've been out of school is eat jelly beans and garbage and have not, like, I don't even, normally I would at least walk around a classroom every now and again. This, you know, over this break I'm not going to be doing any of that. I don't know, man, I'm already just like super bored. I wish I was, you know,
Let's head out, but proceed with caution.
with your children, or with the children being grumpy at them, you know, like, I don't know, I miss it. When you're a teacher, I feel like a lot of your identity is tied up in being a teacher. Like, when I worked at GameStop, I didn't consider my core identity is someone, I am a game seller, right? Like, that wasn't tied up to my identity, so like, I could feel like, oh, I'm not selling games, that's fine, who cares, it's not my identity. Whereas, like, as a teacher, I feel like that is core to my being, you know, like, part of why I feel like I'm here in the world, and so it just, without that, really is sucky. And I suppose I could teach my own children, but, you know, I don't want to do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I hope Pixley didn't hear me. She's playing Roblox in the other room.
Good to see ya.
Good to see you. Okay. One more thing. I want to fight one more thing. What do I want to fight? What do I want to fight? I'm really bummed there aren't any good event quests. A lot of these companies need to like jump on this opportunity to be like, hey, do some fun stuff, play this game, whatever. I suppose I could do this one with them. Yeah, I'll do this one with them. It's not an arena one, so you get to see like one of these giant lush environments. Should probably make sure I have all my healing stuff and everything. So in this one we're going to be fighting a blue Rathalos and a... What was I saying? A blue Rathalos and an Anjanath. Okay, let's find where it is. So when you're doing a hunt that's out in the kind of the wild, you get these things called scout flies, and the scout flies, depending on how much you know about the monster, will direct you where to go. And they'll also sort of fly out to cool things in the environment as well. It looks like we're going to go after the Anjanath first. You'll also see footprints and stuff like that. That's how you sort of get to know the monsters, so that your scout flies know where to go. And now I've like totally lost the trail of the scout flies. I can also look at the map to see where it is. As much as I have played this game, I still don't always know my way around the environment super well. The Wildspire Waste I know pretty well, but this place gets confusing. Okay, so we're going to have to... You can see there's also another monster, the Nightshade Palamwalo, and the Rathalos is also right by the Fulgor. It looks like we're actually... That's where all the people are, so we're going to fight that first. Okay. Oh, and I forgot another new thing that came out with this expansion is you can ride a dude. And then they'll take you where you need to go. So here we go. Little pat, pat, pat. Pat, pat, here we go. Pat, pat. Oh, what's funny is that my stream thing says I'm playing Shovel Knight. I am not playing Shovel Knight right now. I wonder if that updates at all. I swear I put a different title for this too. Oh well. Yeah, all of that stuff is all messed up. No worries. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at my Twitch stream from the Twitch site. As far as having a camera while I do this, I don't have a camera hooked to my big PC, and I could try to finagle things around to where I could try to do it, but I mean, I look like a mess, you guys. I look like a mess, you guys. Oh, maybe we're not fighting this one. I don't see anybody else right now. Oh, no, there they go. Just crested the hill. So Rathalos, I think, has been around since the very first Monster Hunter that ever came out. It's very much a classic dragon. I mean, like, if you think of dragon, you're pretty much going to see, you know, the Western idea of what a dragon is going to be what a Rathalos is. Which is funny because, like, the Japanese version of a dragon is very different. So it's kind of weird that the dragon they use is more of an Eastern European sort of thing, but... or Western. I think I'm getting my directions mixed up. Oh, I got on his head and he was not into it. Oh, see, somebody cut off the tail. As kind of devastating as that is, this is not a bloody game, so there's no real blood involved. Anyway, as what I was saying before, because the Rathalos has been around for a very long time, even this blue version, people kind of know what to do against this guy. So he's not a super difficult fight anymore. Slide up. Boom. Yeah, we're like super rocking this guy. Super hard. Got that slide up, but you saw I knocked him in the head first, right? Bing, bang, boom, baby. In this fight, we've got other weapons involved too. Switch axe is a cool thing. It goes back and forth between an axe and a sword, which is kind of cool. What else do we have here? There is also a switch. What is the other one? I'm trying to think. There's a switch axe and there's a another one. I forget what it's called. Anyway, doesn't really matter, does it? I want to make sure I don't forget to carve the tail, because it's usually a pretty good deal. Alright, I will try to limit my scatting on stream, but there are no guarantees. Oh, what stopped me from hitting him? See, that's where I think somebody knocked into me while I was right in the middle of my combo. Like, this is a cool combo, but if you get interrupted in the animations of it at all, it screws it up. It does decent damage until the end of the combo, but not great damage, so you really want to get to that last hit. Which means if you're playing with, you know, a bunch of people who, I don't want to say are reckless, but like I said before, people have been fighting Rathalos long enough that it's like, we're just gonna fight this thing. Ain't no thing. Okay. Need to go back up and get that tail too. Undertale Land. Where is it at here? Is it up? I don't see it at all now. Great. Great, you guys. I don't even see the tail. Well, I'm gonna just go up around this thing and see if I can find it. Wasn't it up here somewhere? Yeah. See, I'm smart. I got it. A lot of times people will carve in the middle of the battle. It's kind of frowned upon, you know, but... Alright. Off to the Anjanath. And I'm gonna do like all those dudes did and take a ride to get there. Whee! Bye-bye, Rathalos. Sorry about it. Oh, I know why. It's not taking me to the next thing because I didn't pin it. There we go. Now that we pin it, my dude should take me. Take me, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. You guys know that song? Kids, you know that song. You know what I'm talking about with that song. I probably shouldn't sing it. It'll get me banned from Twitch. Alright, here we go. We need to kill this thing fast. All of a sudden I really need to go to the bathroom. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, somebody's just getting off on him there with their gun. I would love to be able to get a KO on this guy. You can see with 4 people, it's kind of like, man, this thing doesn't have a chance. I just gave him a big smack on the head. Fulgur Anjanath is different than the original one in that he uses lightning and the original one used fire. Like I said, it's kind of like a mix between things that could be real-life dinosaurs and sort of more of a pretend, obviously, situation because they have elemental powers a lot of the time, but... I'm gonna get a KO on him. We're really messing him up, though. What you really want to try to go for is called stun lock, which is where you have him in a place where he's just constantly stunned and can't actually even do anything except for be mad about it. Okay, I bet that's not annoying to hear me making fart sounds. Yeah, we really gotta get this. All of a sudden, I just really gotta use my arm. I really gotta go. Ooh, yeah. You can also mine materials. I'm sure it's annoying for people to see me mining when we're trying to fight a giant dinosaur who breathes lightning, but, you know, I'm grown. I do what I want. See, and I forget I can ride that stupid little dude all the way here. That's another new thing for the Iceborne expansion that I'm just not used to yet. And boom. See, that was great that I got that combo off, but since I wasn't hitting a weak spot, it did like so much less damage. Just gotta make sure I keep my health up, because I don't wanna die. Okay, let's get him right in his butt. Boom! Why am I taking his butt? It doesn't do much damage. Get to the head of him. See, that did a lot of damage. Oh, we put him to sleep, which means we should... Nope, somebody already woke him up. That's the tricky thing with sleep, is it puts them to sleep, but the first person to attack it is gonna wake it up right away, so you have to be careful because somebody will come in using one of the weaker weapons, and they end up ruining your sleep attack because they wake it up with like a tiny little puncture. And I shouldn't say weak weapons, all the weapons are great, but some of them just do like a bunch of tiny hits as opposed to a few big hits, which is kind of what I do with my axe, or not my axe, my hammer. Mad now. If he wasn't mad before, he's definitely mad now. Okay, get out of the way of this. Heal up a little bit. Should put down another health booster. Ooh, somebody got a nice vine trap on him. He freak out so fast. Ooh, he's limping. What that means is he is ready to be captured if we want to capture him. And I am awesome. Yeah, we got him captured. Alright, now that that's over, I am going to sign off of stream and use the bathroom. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds great to me. So I'll be back at 1 o'clock today on Wednesday the 3rd to start a playthrough of all of the Mega Mans 1 through 10.